Welcome to the channel. This is TechnoScope.
Welcome to TechnoScope, the channel for all things tech and gaming hardware. Today we're going to do a little video about RGB LEDs. I was sent these LEDs from AMIR, and basically we're going to talk about two different type of LEDs that they sell. The first type is a LED kit that is a USB powered strip. This strip right here is basically something that you would put behind your monitor, your TV, or some type of screen that has a USB port to power it in order to give it a certain look that you might want. It also comes with a remote control, and there is an infrared receiver so that you can do things such as simple turn it on and off, make it a solid single color, or a variant of other colors that are offered, as well as the different styles of flash and so forth. This kit right here, as you can tell, is a little bit dimmer than this kit right here, and the main reason for that is because this one is USB powered. It doesn't have as much power to work with. Now, when AMIR contacted me, they wanted me to review this kit, but I asked them to send this as well, because what setup is complete with LEDs behind the monitor or behind your TV screen, but you don't have your entertainment center or desk lit as well. So that's where this kit comes into play. Again, this one is a lot brighter, is also a lot longer. It comes with a much beefier power supply. This one doesn't run off USB like this one does. It comes with a dedicated power supply and a universal power cord. Now, this power cord was too short for me to use right here in my setup, but because it's a universal cord, I was able to take one of my longer PC cables and plug it into that and get power to it as well. You have a small power supply right here for the USB strip, and the LEDs plug in. If I can show it on this camera right here, the LEDs plug in with this connection right here. If you look at this end of the LEDs, there is another connection which allows you to take another strip and connect it to this connector as well to extend the length. The instructions that it came with do not disclose how long you can extend this, and it depends on what LEDs you use anyway. It does give you the color pinout, so if you are buying an extension for this, you can match it to this set as well. The only thing that it does tell me about this connection is that the maximum output of the power supply is 2 amps. So if you exceed that limit on here, then your kit is either going to be very dim and this is going to overheat and stop working, or it just won't work at all. This one has a much bigger remote control. Let's show it in this other camera view. Look how much bigger this remote is. Now, this remote here is a lot smaller. The one that comes with the USB kit. It's also, this remote is also the same remote that works the RGB LED lights that I use for my setup. Let's go back to the main camera now, and I'll show you these lights back here. It works. Remember, it works this just fine. It also works these back here. I can also change the color with it. Which I just think is interesting that, you know, they use the same exact remote, but the bigger remote doesn't work at all. It doesn't change the colors. It doesn't power it on and off or anything. So I'm assuming that if you have any other RGB devices that uses this smaller remote, it will work for this one, and if you have the bigger remote for any of your devices, it will work for this as well. So I don't have anything else that's RGB to test that with, but that's my theory. I do have several of these remotes because I have 3 of these lights back here, so there are 3 more of those, and they all work. They all each work the lights. So without further ado, I don't think there was anything else I needed to cover. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and show you what this looks like in the setup itself. One other thing that I failed to mention was that this kit also has a mode that this kit doesn't have, or these lights back here behind me for that matter. This remote has a, let's go back to the smaller camera and I'll show you, a DIY section. And what this does is it allows you to create custom colors instead of just using the preset colors up here. And you do that by selecting which one you want to program, and then using these buttons you can adjust how bright the red, green, or blue is to come up with the colors. So if I hold down the red down, this should start turning more blue as the red LEDs start to go off. Now one thing I did notice is that it is kind of slow in doing this, but as you can see that it's actually working. Let me dim this actually. And as you can see, now it has got like a blue tint to it or whatever. Let's take away the green as well, and we'll make it even more blue. Okay, so as you can see now, if you can tell from the camera, it is a pure blue. I can also, I guess, dim the blue as well if I wanted to make it less blue. So let's bring the red back, and it should give us a little purple. There we go. Bring the green back a little, it should make it white. Let's take the blue away. Got like a yellow color going there. Take the red away, it should turn green. And that basically gives you 6 different DIY settings that you can use to get basically your perfect color with this set. Probably more important than if you're lighting just behind your monitor. But if you're buying this kit, it's more because you want to just put some LEDs behind your monitor. The USB port makes it pretty much perfect so that you just go from the LED strip behind the monitor itself to plugging into the monitor. But if you're doing your entire setup, you're gonna need something like this that's a lot longer and has a lot more flexibility. This will allow you to do your entire setup. And if you're doing your entire setup and your monitor, I would recommend actually going with this kit versus this one. Whereas this one you can get 4-pin extensions, and if you know how to solder, you can actually cut these strips and place the exact length where you want it to be and make those connections to light up everything that you want. So don't forget that everything that I showed in this video will have the links for the to buy it in the description below. If you have any questions or anything, leave those below. I answer my comments very quickly. Check it 3 or 4 times a day at minimum. And if you have any suggestions or anything like that, go ahead and leave those down there below as well. My name is Elemento, and this is TechnoScope.
Technoscope is a Twisted Curve production.